Good. Well, we're happy to do this demonstration of the Employers Group web portal for unemployment claims management. And we'll start with just the first thing that will be happening when we establish a new user. We'll be sending out an email. The first thing we'll do is send out an email to the new user from Kelly Kapp, and she will be sending just a quick introductory guide to the web portal. So everything that we're going to be covering today is going to be encompassed in the web portal guide, and that will be a PDF document that looks something like this, that starts really with the login screen and kind of walks you through the features and functionality of the web portal. And so we'll be doing that today in this particular demonstration. So, but that document will always be there for you in the initial email process, letting you know that you've been set up as a user in the system. Once you're set up as a user in the system, the next email you're going to receive will be from report@employersgroup-ui.com, and in that email it will give you the link to log into the web portal, and that link is here. It'll remind you that your username is simply your email address, and it'll provide you with a temporary password. Now, just a little rule of thumb, if you try to cut and paste this password into the password screen, many times the email will pick up an extra character at the end. And so you see this password ends in a capital GH. If you do a cut and paste, it will append an extra character, and your password will not work. So we encourage you to just look at the password and type that in to the password screen once you get to the web portal. So just a little word of caution there. When you get to the web portal, here's the login screen, and I'm going to go ahead and log into our ABC sample company for demonstration purposes today. So just a moment. So again, you log in with your password there, and the first thing you're going to do when you log in is it's going to pull up a dashboard for your company. And on that dashboard, you're going to see a variety of things. But before we get to the dashboard, let's go back up here. User management will not show up on your application because all people are set up as, there's only the administrator is the highest level, and you will not have administrator privileges. If you need to set up new users, you'll simply let us know, and we'll get those new users set up for you. So your first option will be to change your password. And so we encourage you, once you sign in for the first time, to go through the change password routine, changing it from the password that was automatically generated in the email that came out to a password of your liking. And so that will happen with your change password. And here's the first thing that you're going to see. So this will be kind of a quick review of your claims in process really over the last 30 days. The first thing will come up will be claims that require immediate attention. And you have two things going on here. You have unemployment claims in the top window, and you have unemployment hearings in the bottom window. Now, unemployment hearings don't happen all that often, so it's not uncommon for you to have no hearings going on or in process. But if you did, those would show up here. Claims that require immediate attention are those that are due within the next 3 days. Now, of course, we're an ABC sample company, which is all dummy data, and so we are not in a live environment here. If we were in a live environment, your due dates on the immediate attention would be anything in the next 3 business days would be showing up here as needs immediate attention. And you'll see over here a process status, and that process status tells us where that claim is, and it might be ready to submit, which means we have everything we need. But if it's awaiting customer response, that means we have reached out to you for separation or further separation details, and we're waiting to hear back with you prior to filing that protest on your behalf to the State Workforce Agency. So any one of these claims, if you want further information on any claim, you simply click on that claim, and that'll open up directly into the individual claim lookup screen. And that'll pop here in just a moment. Now, when it's loading this individual claim lookup screen, it's not only loading all the relevant information about this particular claim, it's also loading any relevant claim documents. And so you can see everything from separation notices to the claim that came in from the State Workforce Agency is available for you to see simply by going over here and hitting download. on this oversight over here and clicking open. And here I have an example of a separation notice that we received from one of our customers that happened to be about ABC Distribution Inc.'s drug and alcohol-free workplace policy. And this was a separation notice that may have come over in an acknowledgement of receipt of handbook, a great practice for all companies to have a handbook where someone signed their acknowledgement that they received a handbook and agreed to abide by the policies. So there's a simple example that you can easily see all the documents that we have on file related to that unemployment claim right there available to you. All the claim information is available to you, including the name of the claimant, the UI account number that it came in on, the benefit year end date, which is 1 year from the date that the claim was filed, the state in which the claim was filed. The Social Security number throughout the system is always masked. It is never sent, full socials are never available. The separation reason, remember this is always the employer's separation reason, not necessarily what the claimant said. The business units, the type of claim, is this a last employer claim, a last and base period claim, or just a base employer claim, where you're not the separating employer. The potential charge liability that the state has assigned to this claim. Savings are achieved when a claim is in a 1 status. When you win the claim, that's potential liability that will never be charged to your unemployment account. Any charges to date on that particular claim, the date those charges were last paid, any liability remaining, and the weekly benefit amount. The date we processed the claim, the initial decision and the initial decision date, and any comments that we have on the claim. So a lot of good information about this claim is available at your fingertips. You certainly have ready access to your claim specialist here at Employers Group, but should you ever need to contact your claim specialist, you can always go over here to contact your claim specialist, enter your query in here and hit submit, and that will be routed immediately to your claim specialist. So if you don't want to go back to your email client from the email that we reached out to you on these claims, remember that all these claims, this entire web portal is really for your information. You do not have to use this web portal in order for us to process unemployment claims. Remember, we will be doing that as we always have via an email reach out to you seeking those further separation information. This is really a tool for you should you ever need to find out information on an immediate basis about what's in process, or you're just curious about whether or not a claim has a decision or not. So you saw how we can just click on this to go over to the individual claim lookup screen. Here are items in process, and items in process would include not only those that need immediate attention, but any of those that are due beyond 3 days out, or any of those that are ready to submit. So if you knew there was a claim that's going on recently, you're curious about that, you can find it there. Completed recently would be any claims completed in the last 30 days. And recent decisions, any decisions that were received in the last 30 days. All of those immediate information items are available to you here at the dashboard. Now the next item down on our list is the individual claims lookup screen. Now this is very similar to what we came to when we looked up that item in the from the dashboard. If you click on it, you actually just pop the individual claim lookup screen. But I'm going to go ahead and just, if I type in the Social Security number here, and I'm typing in a dummy social here. Well, the screen's not searching there. Obviously, if I type in a bad social, it is not going to, oh, that's why, because I typed in too many digits. Sorry about that. User error. Won't let you type in 10 digits. You could certainly search by first name and last name if you don't have the social. But incidentally, that's the only place that you type in a social, and you can see that the social is masked on all displays. So there's your individual claim lookup screen, your claim documents, and contact your claim specialist. All of that is available to you on any claim that we have ever processed on your behalf. So any claim that's in our system going years back will be available to you in this individual claim lookup screen. So after the individual claim lookup screen, you certainly have the dashboard. You have your individual claim lookup screen. The next thing is reports. So you normally will get regular reporting on a quarterly basis, and those reports are set up to come into your inbox for whoever with the designated reports contact at your company. So regular quarterly reporting has been coming to those clients who've been around for a long time and is always set up to come to you on a regular calendar quarterly basis to your inbox. However, if you're just curious and you want to go out and run a report for any period of time, that's available to you here as well. And so we have a couple different types of reports that are available to you. We have detail reports, and the two detail reports are either a new claims report or a new claims decisions and pendings. Now, the difference between those two reports will be explained to you over on this document that you'll get, should you ever forget the description I'm about to give to you, but it's available on the web portal guide here, and it's going to describe the difference right here in this particular section. So suffice it to say that a new claims report are just claims that came in during a particular date range. A new claims decisions and pendings report is a report that includes not only new claims that came in during the date range that you request, but also will include any decisions from prior periods that came in during the date range, and any claims that are still in a pending status from periods prior to the date range. So the new claims decisions and pendings report is much more of a total claims activity report of all claims that had activity during the period, whether that's a period of 1 week, 1 quarter, or 1 month, or 1 year. It doesn't matter. You can choose whatever date range you like. So the new claims, of course, is more of an idea of what your claims activity is, your new claims activity, which will focus on just those claims that came in during that period. A hearings report is just that. It's an Excel report of unemployment hearings that came in during your date range, actually that occurred during your date range. And then down at the bottom you have business unit summaries, which are just top-level summary reports by your business unit breakdown. And for employers group, those business unit breakdowns are by, we have a location breakdown for you. So you can set up locations and get a summary report just by location. And again, a location summary for either new claims that came in during the period or new claims decisions and pendings. And so those are your report options. And it's as simple as going in and clicking on new claims here. And you'll have an opportunity to select a business unit hierarchy, and usually that'll be for the entire company or for just a particular location. If you would like, you can run a report just for a single location by clicking on business unit, or you can run a report for the entire company by clicking on state, or in your case, this is a 3-level report. For all employers group clients, it's just 2-level, company and location. And we can certainly click on no filter required and simply go next. And I'm going to go back for a second and click on state. And if you click on state, you can see that the hierarchy comes here. You can run it for a single location for those guys. In this particular case, we can run it for Colorado or Kansas for those 2 locations. I might go ahead and go with all, and I'll go next. And then I can type in a date range. Again, you can type in any date range you want, and it's as simple as that. And you type in next, and then you'll choose your output format. You'll get used to the output formats, but they're very simple. It's either a PDF report, which I'll show you in a moment, which is a very easy to read report. These are the reports that those of you who've been with us for a while are used to receiving on a quarterly basis. They're an easy to read PDF report of all your detailed claims activity. Those of you who are Excel junkies who like to slice and dice the data on your own can get that information via Excel. And get a detailed output where you can run filters and run pivot tables to your heart's content. In this case, I'll select PDF, and then I'll click Submit, and it's finished. I'm not going to go ahead and submit this at this point in time because we've already got the reports run. I'm going to go ahead and show you first the PDF report. And here's the PDF report, and again for our ABC sample company. And this might be one that you're all used to seeing. I'll just point out a couple of the key attributes for you. It's going to break it down by your business unit first, so by location, and then it'll roll that up to your company. It's going to give you the claimant name, the UI account number. The social is always masked. Again, what type of claim it is. Is it a last and base, or a base period only? What is the benefit year-end date, which is a year from the date the claim was filed by the claimant? The date we processed the claim or completed it. The separation date of the employee when they separated your employment. What is the separation reason? Is it a lack of work for seasonal employment? Is it a quit job abandonment? Is it a discharge for inappropriate conduct? What is the status of this unemployment claim? Was it eligible, which means we did not protest this unemployment claim, typical of a lack of work separation? Was it won or was it lost? What is the potential charge liability associated with each claim? And again, any charge information. What level is the claim at? Is it at the initial level, the hearing level, or the board level? And then savings produced by claims that are won, and any liability remaining for claims that are eligible or in a loss status. So you get nice, easy to read, detailed information. You'll get a report card for each one of your business units. For each of your locations, you'll get total claims, how many were contested, how many were not protested, and then the percentage of contested. How many decisions do we have in? How many were favorable, how many were unfavorable, and the charge liability associated with all these claims. All the information is readily available to you, and then you just kind of can flip through business unit by business unit. So the first one was Los Angeles. Here's a San Francisco business unit, and again a summary scorecard for San Francisco, how many claims. And then in this particular case we have another level of activity, and that's by state. So we have 5 claims for the state of California, how many were protested, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to flip through this report, and you can see this has multiple locations within multiple states. And eventually you will get to a grand total section for your entire company. And that has how many claims we had, how many were protested, how many decisions, how many were favorable and unfavorable, the potential charge liability, how many were new claims this period. Of course, if it's a new claims report, that would be the same as the number of total claims. But you might have fewer new claims and total claims when you run a claims activity report that includes decisions and pending claims from prior periods. We'll report how often you went to an unemployment hearing and how often you went to the Board of Review. The next section is a really nice breakdown of all your unemployment claims by separation type. So you'll get an idea of how many of your terminations, how many claims of the different termination types did you have. Everything from insubordination to inappropriate conduct to fighting on the job to excessive tardiness, unacceptable attendance, violation of company policy rule, all the common termination reasons. We'll have how many claims, how many were favorable, how many were unfavorable, how many are still in a pending status, how many were eligible, and all of your liability information. So you can see how much is potentially chargeable to your unemployment account, how much has been charged to date, and any savings that is available that we've achieved by winning those unemployment claims. So lots of good information. We'll have any claims that you did not protest that were in a lack of work category for any one of a variety of lack of work reasons. We'll have miscellaneous claims. Whoopsie, I'm going to go back up. Those are claims that don't fall neatly into how the state adjudicates unemployment, which are terminations, lack of works, and voluntary quits. So what you might see in these particular situations would be a no protest per instructions. That might be a case where you say, look, we don't wish to protest that claim, either because it's a simple job performance and there was no misconduct, or possibly you just want to walk away quietly. But that's what that category is for. Maybe no separation has occurred. Maybe they're still working for you. They filed unemployment from another employer. And so other reasons that might occur there. And then voluntary quit category. So all the different reasons a person might voluntarily quit. Again, remember, when it's a discharge, the burden of proof is on the employer to win that unemployment claim to show that they discharged that employee with good cause. When it's a voluntary quit, the burden of proof is on the employee. It's on the claimant to show that they quit that job with good cause. Otherwise, they did not lose a job through no fault of their own, and they should not win that unemployment claim. So we'll break those down for you. That's the example of the PDF report. As I said, for you Excel junkies, you can choose an Excel output. And here's an example of a new claims report in Excel. The first thing you're going to get is every claim and every bit of data that we have on that claim. And again, it's filtered. So if you want to very quickly see, well, gee, how many were discharges for unacceptable attendance, you can click on those and quickly filter down to those 3 claims and see that you won them at the initial level and so on and so forth. So I'll go ahead and unfilter those. And you can go back and see that every piece of data that we collect on those claims is here in this particular report. So you have a lot of good information on these reports. I'll go through a couple of new features as well in just a moment. So all of that is there. Now, for those who don't want the detail, we do include a business unit summary with the new claims report. And that's over here where you can see all of your, in this case, you can see all of your locations and the key summary detail statistics on each location. So here you'll see that we had 8 new claims for Colorado, 1 additional claim. An additional claim, just as a reminder, is a claim that is reopened during the same benefit year. So to the state, it's not a new unemployment claim because they have not exhausted their benefits within that benefit year. They may have gone back to work for a period of time, did not collect unemployment for a while, but then became separated again, refiled, and then it would be an additional claim, not a new claim. We track how many are contested, how many are eligible, what's the contest percent, how many are won, how many are lost, what's your win percentage, how many are pending, again, the hearings and board. So you can very quickly see across all activity what's going on at a high level. Now, another thing that we started back in March of 2015 is what we call grading. And that's what you're seeing here in this docs, in this response. We are now grading, and I'm going to go over here, and I'll show you over here. We have the legend for you. We look at documentation, and we are trying to help drive some process improvement opportunities for our customers. When we protest an unemployment claim, we want to try to help you to tell you whether or not, in our expert opinion, the documentation was good, it was sufficient, or it was insufficient. If you want to call that A, B, C, you can. You know, sufficient being a B, insufficient being a C, that there's certainly room for improvement, and good gets an A. And we'll also grade timeliness. One of the keys is to get us the information in time that we can write up a good protest back to the state workforce agency. So we'll tell you whether or not it's a speedy response, whether it's a timely response. Well, a speedy response means we gave you, 5 days to get back to us, and you got back to us in 2 or 3. Timely response is we gave you a 5-day due date, and you got it back to us in plenty of time by the due date. Multiple follow-ups means that we had to follow up multiple times to get the information we needed. Untimely last minute means we gave you a 3 o'clock on Thursday due date, and you got it to us at 2:55 on Thursday, not leaving us a lot of time to get that back to the state workforce agency. And then, of course, if we miss the deadline. So in each of those instances, they're assigned a score, and then we'll give you a grading report. We'll tell you how many times, we graded documents, and when we did, how many were graded good, how many were graded sufficient, how many were graded insufficient, and then the percentage breakdown of those 3. When it's insufficient, we're going to try to help you drive some process improvement by telling you where did we fall short. And we have 10 categories of where we fell short. Everything from no prior warnings to no final incident details, maybe no final incident documentation. Sometimes we have the details, but we don't have any documentation on the separation. Sometimes we don't have any documents at all. Sometimes the documents aren't relevant, which means you separated for an attendance violation, yet all of your warnings were for a policy, unrelated policy violation. So we'll try to help you with, if the documents are insufficient, what was it about those documents? Remember that over here in the claim detail, all of this information is included over here. So if you wanted just to filter on the claims that were insufficient, you can very quickly do that and see everything about those claims, including where they are, where they're from, whether or not the claim was won or lost, and everything about that particular claim. So that filtering is always available to you. So going back to the grading report, we'll tell you on the timeliness the same thing. Remember, not all claims require documents. Certainly some are not protested, and others might be a simple voluntary quit where there are no documents available. If it's simply a voluntary quit, job abandonment, there's really not any documents to be expected. But when we have discharge cases, we're looking always to substantiate that discharge to show that we separated with good cause. And so in those cases, we're looking at documentation to say, do we have signed policy statements or signed acknowledgments of the handbook? And do we have any disciplinary docs where we might have given that employee a chance to cure their behavior prior to separating with them? So that's the grading report. So a lot of great detail on these reports. Those are kind of the details of the reports that are back available from your web portal. back on the reports and the summary there from any one of these. So the last thing that you can do is submit documents. Remember, this is an option to upload documents at our website, and that includes documents such as a separation notice, such as supporting claim documents, or it could be a state document. If you get that last employer claim mailed directly to your location, you can turn around and upload that document to us, and we will begin the process. Remember that you always have the email address of your claim specialist, and you can certainly exchange any of these documents via the email address as well. However, if you want to load those up through this web portal, we have that opportunity as well. So that kind of wraps up the different things that we can do with the Employers Group web portal here. Again, beginning with the dashboard. If you have any questions, everything that you would have need is going to be on that initial email here, which has Kelly Capps information on it. You can always go to the bottom of your site and you can see both a toll-free number or an email address. You can simply click on that, email us, and we're happy to help you work out any problems that you may have or any questions that you may have. And that actually will put a wrap to this particular presentation on the Employers Group Unemployment Cost Control web portal. And thank you very much.
Perfect. No, thank you so much, Steve. That actually went really well. I want to say you made my job a lot easier by making a very smooth and easy presentation.
Good. Good. All right. Well.